And finally, let's talk about promotion, starting with some cross-promotion strategies to drive views to your podcast on YouTube. First thing that YouTube suggests is to leverage your social media presences. So they mention specifically Snapchat and the IG swipe up feature, which as far as I know, Instagram doesn't have the swipe up feature anymore. Now it's just used, they use a little link feature where you can just pop in a link and then people tap on it. Either way, you can utilize that to drive traffic to your podcast. You may also consider using Instagram Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a second. Also, use calls to action through promotional clips and trailers. So when you're creating content to publish on Instagram Reels or TikTok or wherever, consider creating little promotional teasers and speak directly to your audience. That can be a great way to motivate people to check out your new content. Of course, YouTube then goes in to mention some other YouTube products that you should consider using. Why wouldn't they? This is their guide. But YouTube Shorts, for starters. YouTube Shorts is kind of like YouTube's version of Instagram Reels and TikTok. There's huge growth potential in using YouTube Shorts. I've seen it myself. If you think about it, it makes sense too. So TikTok kind of led the way with the way that they've set up their platform. You've probably heard of a lot of success stories of people that became overnight celebrities on TikTok because their videos just went crazy viral. As a result, you have these other platforms like YouTube and Instagram who see that and they want a piece of that pie. So they release these new features called YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. And in order to incentivize people to use those features, they have to find a way to do that. So they make it easy for people to get a lot of exposure. This will probably change over time. As time goes on and these features become more ubiquitous, you're probably going to see a reduction in engagement in using those features. But for now, people are seeing a lot of views and growth from using these features. So definitely utilize it when you can. There's a podcast that I'm producing right now where we just recently started uploading YouTube Shorts onto the full podcast, the main podcast channel for the podcast. And we've seen almost like a hockey stick as far as new subscribers. And a lot of the YouTube Shorts that we're posting are getting more views than the full podcast themselves and even some of the clips. So if you don't have a YouTube Shorts strategy of some kind, get started on that and experiment with it for sure. There's also a remix feature when it comes to YouTube Shorts. So you can actually take your full podcast episodes and cut shorts from your full podcasts directly within the YouTube app. And those shorts that you create will link right back to the original video. So pretty cool there. Then you have YouTube Stories. YouTube Stories, again, similar to Instagram and TikTok, how they have their stories. Unlike Instagram, actually, I'm not sure off the top of my head how long a TikTok story lasts for, but I know on Instagram, they last for 24 hours. On YouTube Stories last for 7 days. And YouTube suggests that you use stories as a way to maybe experiment with new types of content, test new ideas. You could also give a behind the scenes sneak peek at what you're doing, and you can communicate with your audience in a way that's a little bit more intimate. So, maybe if I'm holding up my phone and just making it very casual, it's a little bit more of an intimate way to communicate versus something like this, like talking head with the nice lighting and all that kind of stuff. Then you have the community tab. The community tab is great. We talked about this in part one, last week's episode where we covered channel strategy. It's just a low effort way to communicate and engage with your audience. You can post GIFs, you can post polls, links to videos that you're trying to promote. I've seen, in my experience, a lot of engagement come through the community tab, even more so than, compared to just like a regular post on Instagram or Facebook. So use the community tab if you're not already. And then finally, we have end screens and cards. So you can use end screens. By the way, end screens are what kind of show up in the last 20 seconds of a video. You might see little subscription buttons or recommended videos to watch. You can use end screens to give viewers somewhere to go once they finish watching your video or to drive subscriptions. And then you have cards, which are little notifications that may pop up over the course of a video in the top right corner. And you can use cards to feature videos. You can post links, or you can ask through subscriptions through cards as well.